All right, guys, Manor Lords has received its new major update. Update 4 is here, and not only does it add massive new maps to the game, Winding River and Mountainous Valley, which we're going to get into in a moment, it actually does sweeping, huge changes to bug fixing, balancing, new gameplay kind of mechanical changes here as well, especially to the marketplace, how various buildings behave, even animations, audio changes. There's a lot here to talk about, and for the last couple of weeks, I've been enjoying it. I've been testing things out, playing the new maps, especially to see what kind of new towns you can build. And there's so much beautiful, visual, immersive kind of possibilities here in terms of what you can build, how you can kind of design your towns around these new terrain features as well. It's really, really good. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to get into all of the new changes that have been made to Manor Lords with Update 4. And I'm going to tell you why you need to get back into the game to check all of this out as soon as possible. Now, first things first, of course, the main event of Update 4 has to be the two new maps that have been added in. There's a map selection screen now where you can pick High Peaks, which is basically a narrow valley of 4 regions with mountains on either side, and Winding River, which is sort of the kind of usual Germanic Valley type map, but with a huge, massive, wide river cutting across the entire map, as you can see here. And starting with Winding River, so you can see the river kind of like has 3 regions that have borders on the river but don't quite cross into it, and 2 regions that have the river crossing right through, which means you can have the town basically built on either side of the river if you like. That's what I did here, which is absolutely my favorite way to build a town in Manor Lords. Now, obviously this comes with a buildable bridge, which you do by picking the road placement button, and instead of basically building a road over the water, it builds a bridge. It's very intuitive. You build it with planks, so make sure you've got loads of planks churning out in your economy. And I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, this is really what I've been waiting for from Manor Lords: more maps, more features like this that really expand the scope of what kind of towns you can build. Obviously, some of the bridges are traversable, others aren't as much as I'd like it to be, but I'm sure that's a bug. I'm sure all of this will get ironed out in future patches as well. The point is here, it's a new map. It looks absolutely stunning. Pathfinding works relatively well, I would say, but various issues do still happen. People sometimes get stuck along the river if they're trying to get from one point to the other. Oxen are another animal that gets stuck here and there as well. Obviously, they're trying to move timber to get buildings being built, so that can cause some major issues if it happens too much. But overall, I think it's a brilliant new map that they've added in here. Everything works a lot better than I expected it to, especially in the main branch, where a lot of the issues that I had in the closed beta have been ironed out. And then, of course, we've got High Peaks. Now, this map is super interesting. Of course, visually, cosmetically, it's beautiful. You've got these mountainous regions on either side that aren't traversable, by the way. You can't claim those regions and build towns up there on those mountains. But what is so interesting is it's 4 regions only. It's a narrow valley between these 2 mountain ranges. And essentially, you've got a scarcity of land, of resources compared to what we're kind of normally used to with a 9 region map. You've got less land, so less possibilities to develop farmland. You've got, especially if you're up against the Baron, you've got less possibilities to get retinue. You've got essentially less of everything, and it makes things a bit more interesting and difficult from a challenge, from an economy development perspective, from how you're going to actually beat the Baron and beat other bandit raids, which are more frequent because it's such a smaller map compared to before. But yeah, so there are lots of interesting kind of dynamic changes with High Peaks, but overall, kind of the main event, of course, of what this map is all about is the visual and kind of cosmetic difference that has been introduced here. It gave me an opportunity to start my first circular town, which I loved. I built a manor in it and got it enclosed in a wall, which is kind of not really recommended until the game introduces actual city walls, but it's a nice way to kind of top drop off a town that you're done with, that you're not really going to be editing anymore and expanding into other regions. So I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it before, just once, maybe to see what it's like. But yeah, so this is High Peaks. It's really a visually stunning, immersive map. It really isn't what I expected. I was kind of very pleasantly surprised by what's available here, the different types of elevation, like I said, the scarcity of land and what you're going to do with that land, especially if a lot of it isn't farmable, how you're going to deal with economy development, region trading, all of that jazz. It's really great. And honestly, it's fast becoming my new favorite map. Now, of course, alongside all of this, there is a large number of balancing changes, bug fixes across the board, whether it's, the marketplace being able to only have stalls from the granary and the storage building. You've got stalls that have been combined to have multiple different types of goods, just to make distribution even more streamlined and functional. You've got animation changes. You've got changes to the way products are distributed to buildings and houses, that are specialized. You've got the various food resources that have been upped in terms of effectiveness and functionality. The fish, shoal, and repopulation there is a lot better. Farming feels a lot better as well, I found in this update. Whether you have multiple different farms, dozens of people farming at the same time, things can get a little bit iffy here and there, especially in higher populations. But a lot of that has been fixed and ironed out and polished. So essentially, it all feels a lot better from a food production and distribution perspective. You've also got new buildings. We've got the upgradable well, as you can see here, which is a stone well, services a lot more houses. You've got the same thing with the tavern as well, which is really good. Nice little looking building there. The marketplace has been updated, as you can see here, so you can get a brand new UI to see how things are being distributed and where these resources are coming from. All really good stuff. And it's basically kind of made the experience a bit more refreshed. This update is breathing new life into Manor Lords. It's been a while since our last major update of this scale, and the rebalancing across the board, the way certain animals prioritize where they're going, and all of that has been updated to a state where it's much more enjoyable. Essentially, Manor Lords feels a lot more complete, and alongside that, of course, it's visually a lot more immersive, especially with these new maps, what you can do, the kinds of towns you can build. There's just so much more that you can do here and enjoy it at the same time, which is, for me, what this update is all about. Now, of course, not everything is perfect, right? There are still lots of issues to be resolved, and hopefully, with each update, we're seeing a lot of great work being done here. But I did say pathfinding generally is pretty good and getting there, but on Winding River specifically in this map, there are pathfinding issues. We still get production issues, especially distribution to burgage plots that are specialized, like butchers or woodworkers. There are still issues to do with distribution, especially. I even had a pathfinding issue on Winding River where I had bandits raid, and this is another area I really don't like. I don't like how bandits really function in the game just yet. I think there's a lot of room for improvement there, but bandits were raiding my town, and I actually had a moment where I couldn't have my retinue was kind of gathered around, but they wouldn't exit the keep to fight them. So the bandits just had free reign over my town and destroyed my town. So yeah, lots of issues to be fixed here. Overall, though, I think Manor Lords is getting into a pretty good place. This is a brilliant first update to the year. New maps brings new, fresh life into the game that gives a lot of great reason to get back in here, try and develop new towns and new ways and new directions, new elevations. It's actually has been my favorite time with the game so far these last couple weeks, exploring these new updates, especially the new features with the buildings, the balancing changes to the marketplace. It's all been absolutely amazing. I highly recommend you get in here and check it all out. So that's going to be it for today, guys. This has been update 4 of Manor Lords, going through everything that I've enjoyed, everything that you should know about when you're getting into the game again, if you haven't been here in a while. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give it a like and drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below. If you're having any issues, you have questions, if you need to join the Discord, you don't know where the link is, anything at all, I'm in the comments and I'll respond as much as I possibly can. I really thank you for watching this video. Subscribe for more Manor Lords videos just like this. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.